notes, topped with whipped cream and dark chocolate curls. Together is the best place to be at Starbucks.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage, no medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
It's the season to come together over your holiday favorites at Starbucks. Warm up with a creamy caramel brulee latte, get festive with an iced gingerbread chai, or share a velvety peppermint mocha. Together is the best place to be at Starbucks.
From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, don't worry about me, I called ART.
Traffic. Allow extra time this morning because the roads are slick. There are no major issues right now, but watch for construction delays on Kellogg in both directions between Broadway and Oliver. From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, that's your Odyssey Wichita traffic.
Weather.
Becoming sunny, breezy, and still very cold today. High 22, but when you factor in a southwest wind, 10 to 20 and gusty, it will feel like the single digits. Speaking of which, clear and 8 tonight, then a little bit warmer on Tuesday. Sunny skies turn partly cloudy, high in the low 30s, mostly sunny and middle 30s on Wednesday. That's your forecast from Storm Team 12. I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn.
97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Love the app, the Odyssey app. I can take it anywhere. It's so easy to listen on the app.
Listen live on the Odyssey app. Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH Wichita, KNSS HD2 Clearwater, an Odyssey sports station.
Hey Wichita, it's Jacob Albrock. Stay right there for the latest break in sports talk. It's Sports Daily coming up next, exclusively on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Jim Rome here with your Rome Report. It's championship weekend, and all eyes are on Broncos backup Jarrett Stidham, who has not taken an NFL snap since Week 18 of the 2023 season. So, is Stiddy ready? Ask his teammates, and it's an emphatic yes. They love this dude. They love his swag, his vibe, his command, and they think based on the way he runs the scout team and practice, he could start for a number of other NFL teams. Great, but this is not practice or the scout team. It's the AFC Championship game against a Patriots defense that completely confused C.J. Stroud. I'll say the same to Stiddy that I did to Stroud last week. They don't need you to win the game. They need you not to lose the game. Take care of the rock, make a few plays when called upon, and let your defense and rushing attack do the heavy lifting. CJ didn't heed my advice, and he got destroyed. Stiddy, they don't need you to be a hero. They just need you not to be a chump. I'm Jim Rome. Remember, you can follow me on Instagram at Jim Rome.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55, but unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily.
Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the countdown to the Super Bowl. A Reaction Monday, championship weekend in the books. We have it set for you, just like everybody suspected. The Patriots and the Seahawks are headed to the Super Bowl. What a weird NFL year, and we get a pretty Pretty crazy matchup if you think all the way back to August on who's playing in this thing. We'll get you ready for it. We'll look back then at the AFC and NFC championship games. Also a busy weekend of college basketball we've got to get to, including a couple of really big wins for the Shockers and Jayhawks and a pretty disappointing outcome for the Wildcats. But we'll dig into all of that as well. A lot to get to here on this Monday edition. Jacob Albrock, TJ Cleveland with you. Max Powers producing. He's got your KFH hotline at 869-1240. You can, of course, reach us via our video streams as well, Facebook, YouTube, X. You can leave your comments there. You can leave us comments on the Odyssey app through the voice messaging system. And thanks for watching us on 12 News Connected as well. Everything we've got for you today is What's on Tap, brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company, now featuring chili for a limited time. Hearty beef, no bean chili, perfect for lunch, now available at all 3 WBC locations, East, West, Historic Delano, Wichita Brewing Company, pizza and beer made here. Chili sounds pretty good. Did you survive the chilly weekend, TJ? Snow covered?
It's cold out there, that's for sure. Was a -2 taking the dog outside. And let me tell you, I'll take this back to the September, the take that I had. I still stand by it, but having a dog really throws a wrench in the things I was saying a little bit. You know, I'm still down for the 50-degree weather, which is what I was calling for. Nobody was calling for the snow back then, but having a dog,
get to the snow without the fall. That's the thing. Yeah. Wishing away the summer too quickly that's the problem. You can't. That old question of would you rather be hot or cold? Like it's such a manufactured answer to say cold. That nobody actually feels that way.
I don't know. I think I did feel like that until I got a dog, and now I have a dog that thinks it's funny to make me chase him around in the backyard.
It interrupts everything in life. Now, you knuckleheads put the challenge out that I wouldn't end up at the Shocker game in the snow. That was no problem. Just made it out. It wasn't that bad, honestly. Like, we still got 7 inches of snow, so all the haters out there can can it. It came in that second wave a little bit more, but it was a light, fluffy snow that's been kind of easy to move around. It's the first time I've been able to shovel the driveway and actually see driveway after a snowstorm here in a long time. It was if we can get it to now just warm up a little bit, it'll be nice to look at. We did get 7 inches of snow, so
it's true. But we had good basketball, as you were saying. I sat and thought about it the past couple of days. I think that the most addictive drug on earth might be the Wichita State Shockers this year. I mean, you think that you quit them, and then they just bring you right back in.
And you've been fiending for it for a long time, right? That's the other part. Like you've wanted it so badly for them to get back to this place in the community, and this team is probably the best shot to create a little of that buzz. They certainly did Saturday. We'll have Paul Mills on in just a little while later this hour to talk about it. So that was nice. I think we're starting to feel the energy and the buzz around KU basketball right now. I know it's tough for K-State fans basketball wise. I hate that. It's a major bummer. But for KU fans, we got to, late January, the last couple of years, and you're like, yeah, I don't think I can see this team making a deep run.
I agree. I think that
you look at a team that you're like, yeah, I could definitely see it with this group.
Yeah, it's true. This is the best team they've had since Grady was there, and they won the Big 12 basically. And after that, they've had the back-to-back years of the portal Jayhawks, and it didn't really work as well as they hoped it would. But I mean, I said it on the show. I picked K-State in our picks that we made because we threw basketball in there. Like, I picked K-State because the recipe was there. Like, no Darren Peterson. They've struggled in Bramlage. It's the loudest that building's going to be all year long. Like, it's a tough environment to go play. We talk all the time about how tough Bramlage is to go play, and sometimes if they get the fans in it, it's a good place to watch a basketball game. And, it was that the recipe was there. And I mean, KU to K-State's point, they kept it in there for a while, but KU finally got to that point and, lit the fuse. And I mean, they're good. Even without Peterson, they're good.
See, and this is what I think, and we'll discuss this game too, a whole bunch in the second hour. I think that's what impressed me about KU's. I did not think the recipe was there. They didn't have it. They weren't going to have any answers for KU down low. And their only chance was to shoot the lights out and play a level of defense they basically haven't played all year. And they did that for about, 10 minutes of the game. They shot him and hit a bunch of threes, and it was staying close. But at the end of the day, like, what answer is K-State going to have for Flory Badunga?
Yeah, it's true. That was the biggest question. His biggest question as one, they only have about one center on their team, and the backup or the starting center that isn't really a center was hurt. So yeah, I agree. That was one that there wasn't really an answer for that. But the recipe in my head, as I was talking about.
But but they executed that. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they knew that. We all knew that. You could see it, and they went out and they did it. And those two guys combined for 37 points and 17 rebounds. And that's what and so that's what, like, for me with KU, we've had talk about Peterson and can Melvin Council be good when Peterson's good. KU's national championship runs, most recently especially, it began down low, even though David McCormick wasn't the best player on that team. Yeah. Now, Flory Badunga's got a case, but Bill Self's teams are always good when they look like that to me. Dot and Doak, who I feel like would have won a natty, right? It all started with Doak down low. Mm-hmm. If they can get this to start that way, with those, especially now with those two guys, really, now you're looking at a team, though, that's versatile. Now you've got Peterson, and we'll see it. Look, I hope his ankle's good for the game against Abonsa, because that's where you're like, all right, Peterson, you're the top dog. Go be the top dog. Go show the world why you're better, because he's going to be trying to do the same thing. They are developing a little versatility, I think. That's what gives me so much hope about them. All right, K-State, they don't have any bigs. Well, let's just pound them down low. They can't stop that. Let's speed them that way. Yep. That's good to see. On the road like that.
It feels like they, in the past couple of years, and not to dog on the past two KU teams, but like they had about one way to win, and if it didn't work, they weren't going to win. Like this KU team has shown us they can win even without the best player on the court. Like I think that, and that's the big question of how can they figure it out with them on there. And I think that they've gotten to a point where they can. I mean, the Colorado game is a perfect example. Bill Self isn't even there, and they find a way, like, as Peterson goes down and gets hurt, that, people step up. They go out and grind out a win on the road at altitude and everything like that. Like, I don't know if the past two KU teams could have done that, and that's what's so promising about them this year.
Yeah, they look good, but they're still they will find out if that floor is low at all at some point, and hopefully not. But we'll talk about that game in the next hour. We'll talk Shockers coming up in just a little bit with Paul Mills. He's going to join the show in what feels as meaningful a win as they've had in a while. Not it's not that Memphis was the best team they've beaten or anything like that. It's just doing it at home. Fans brave the weather, the circumstances and implications into the standings. All of it felt as good as a win as felt for Wichita State in a long time.
You want to know something, Jacob? We talk about that Jags loss for the Chiefs on Monday night. Let's look at that Rice loss. If they won that game, they'd be tied for first.
Stupid. Or the Charlotte blown lead, or like all the things. But that's okay. Like this team doesn't let that stuff linger. The Chiefs, guess what they did after the Jaguars lost?
They let it linger. Cranberries.
Yeah. That's right, baby. Great song. All right, we'll come back. Let's talk about the Super Bowl we got cooking here in the NFL. That's next on Sports Daily.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
the canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
31001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Sports Daily is on KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. It is Sports Daily here on KFH. Glad to be with you on this Reaction Monday as we are set for Super Bowl. We'll talk Shockers in a little bit with Paul Mills, Wichita State men's basketball coach. We'll talk more on round one of that Sunflower Showdown coming up in the next hour. Get to some other things. Got to tell you, TJ, as we say, thanks to Prairie Fire Coffee for warming us up on a very cold morning. We don't get college basketball this week. It's kind of annoying. Both the Shockers and
I don't know why.
I don't know. Is K-State also off this week?
I don't know. I think so.
Wichita State and KU are.
Yeah.
They don't play till this weekend. They both play really big games this weekend too, by the way. Check on K-State. But it's been, I don't like that. We're like, why are we throwing off our groove here? Yeah, K-State actually does play. They play West Virginia. Woo. West Virginia on the road on Tuesday.
Nice.
So we'll have that one right here on KFH. But we have to wait a while for the Shockers and KU, who have everybody a little bit excited right now. Got to wait 2 weeks for the Super Bowl. So it'll be a kind of a dragging week here for us. We had one great championship game, Seahawks Rams classic, so much fun. And we had one that was really hard to watch. No offense, Max. It was a boring game. Patriots 10-7 winners over the Broncos. I will say it got more entertaining as the weather moved in. At least then you had an excuse for the lack of offense coming in. But the Patriots get it done. 10-7. And look, for everyone that talks about their path to getting there being a little easy, their path also was historic. I believe they're the first team ever to get through 3 top 5 defenses on their way to a Super Bowl, which is what they did with Denver, the Chargers, and who else did they beat?
The Texans?
Yeah, Denver, the Chargers, and the Texans. 3 top 5 defenses. So they've earned it. They'll be underdogs. What's the opening line? They'll be
Seahawks 3.5, I think.
3.5. You're gonna get a lot of Seahawks money. That line's going up. Line's going up. But it's a couple of cool stories. You've got the Sam Darnold half, and then you've got the Patriots with one of the great turnarounds in NFL history. And I guess this is what it feels like to be excited. It's been so long, TJ, since we've been.
I have not worked in media where the Chiefs aren't in the Super Bowl. Like, I don't know. I'm still gonna have to work, but like just watching the game just casually is gonna be so wild to me.
Or even just having them in the game yesterday. There's always and it's not been forever, but for a very long time now. They have been active in the games we just watched, and it has created a different work vibe. And to not have that yesterday felt odd. It was like,
I agree.
We're just watching championship weekend here. Like, all right.
It felt like it's weird. It's weird.
A little weird. And you think about the Chiefs this year. You think about the Chiefs in general, and you think about the teams we saw in the playoffs. And it is even crazier to imagine when you know all the circumstances of the year now in hindsight, how the Chiefs weren't able to make of all the years
I know.
to make it through. This was the downest.
If they could have found a way, found a way to just look like they did against the Lions and the Ravens and the Raiders in that 3-week span, they'd have won this. They would have, made it to the Super Bowl. They could have won the Super Bowl. They were really good back then, but they would have ran the table.
They couldn't look like that, but they had too many. But it's wild to think of all the years, all the AFC championships, all the, classic Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson games and all these crazy Joe Burrow and all of them. And you're like, this is the year they didn't get through? Huh. Yep. And I just is this a changing of the guard? That's the big question, I think, for Chiefs fans. Drake May's team's only going to get better. They're there with very little firepower offensively. You don't think they're going to go find a couple of weapons now for Drake May?
No.
I would imagine they're ready to be done with Steph Diggs after this season. I mean, it's Kayshon Boutte and old man Hunter Henry. Like that, they don't have much.
Is that a big hunk of irony for fans that were whining about the Chiefs dynasty being in the Super Bowl every year? So they stopped going to the Super Bowl every year, and now the Patriots are back in the Super Bowl.
Hope you like getting the Patriots back. Yeah, I suppose it is. How many years now would that be, the Chiefs or Patriots, I wonder, in the AFC Championship game? It's wild. The Patriots now are. Did they tie? Max will know this. Max, did they tie or set the record for most Super Bowl appearances? I think they set it at 12. I believe they set the record now.
They're at 12.
But that's the record, correct?
They've been in 12 of the last 30.
I think it's the record for the most Super Bowl appearances. Yeah. Is the Patriots.
I saw Shreyas. Shreyas is a Boston sports fan. I'm not really exactly sure why, but he is. So he said something along the lines of like, "Man, this is a historic year for toddlers who have never seen a championship in Boston before."
Yeah, for 3-year-olds.
Yeah.
It's they look, Vrabel is a monster. Drake May he's got whatever it is, and they're going to get better. Like, they're going to get better. They're going to, especially offensively, in a year where he almost won an MVP. He's going to have a whole lot more to work with next year than he did this year. If he doesn't, it's a travesty by their front office, but he will. Can they muster up enough to beat the Seahawks? Yeah, they probably can. I think we'll get a pretty good game. I would lean Seahawks for sure, because Seattle's defense is every bit as good as Denver's, and the Patriots really struggled.
It feels like this is the weird part about this, though, since we're talking about this. Like, the Patriots have found ways to do it against all these tough defenses, but like their offense really, like, is that their strength? Like, what are their strengths? Like, they
feel like the early Patriots teams of the Belichick era to me. They don't have one.
Like, exactly. Like that you watch them play, and we've had this conversation. It's just like, well, the Broncos have an awesome pass rush. Like, the Texans defense is incredible. Like, the Bills have Josh Allen, and then you watch the then you watch the Patriots, and it's like, yeah, Drake May puts up a lot of numbers, but you watch them play, and they're not the Seahawks offense. Like, they just win games.
It's May making plays. They have an underrated defense. Their defense is better than it gets credit for. They don't make a lot of mistakes. They're very Patriots. They're very early Patriots, right? The Patriots eventually developed some juggernaut offenses and had some years where their defense was lights out. But that year they beat the Rams, what was that team good at? We didn't know a lot of their players. We didn't know Brady at the time. They just did. Like, they just got there. I mean, this feels like that. Now, the Seahawks are not the Rams of that year.
Yeah.
They're, one of the great offenses we've ever seen. But they're a really good offense with really good offensive players, and they showed it against the Rams. Look, I think when you get to the Rams Seahawks, and I liked the over there because they kind of know each other, so you can scheme up and scheme around defense and keep them guessing. I don't think the Seahawks are going into the Super Bowl and scoring 31 points. Maybe they do, but will they need to? Can the Patriots score a little bit in the Super Bowl? That Seahawks defense is nasty. Despite the 27 given up yesterday, that's been a really good defense all year long. And they're also well-disciplined, have been well coached, all of those things. So it'll be fun. It should be a good Super Bowl. It's not a sexy Super Bowl, but everything has to have a beginning, right? If either of these teams want to get there, and you got to win one before you can win two, or three, or four, or whatever. So is this an aberration?
Could you imagine if Sam Darnold won 3 Super Bowls in a row?
No, I can't imagine.
This is one of my
doing it.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite. This is one of my favorite conversations we have on the show. Is whenever we talk about our wives and football and stuff like that. Because like my wife is locked in, everything like that, and she hasn't been forever. And she's like, "Has Sam Darnold ever won a Super Bowl before?" Like, I was like, "Oh, let me tell you about the Sam Darnold story." Like, this
story.
It's like, this feels like the like biblical times. It's like, let me tell you, back in 2018, they drafted this guy 3rd overall.
Yeah, it was. Shout out to Rachel Hallam, our coworker who went to high school with Sam Darnold. She had his jersey, his high school jersey on in the office last night, which is pretty cool. Yeah, it's a great story. That's the thing. Like, there are 2 great stories happening. You have Darnold's story, and you have one of the great turnarounds year to year that we've ever seen. The greatest, a lot of people would say, 13 losses to 13 wins. This is great stuff. It just does feel, though, less dramatic. And I don't think it would feel less dramatic if it was Josh Allen in there. I don't think it would feel less dramatic if it was Lamar Jackson in there. It's just, we're so not expecting this that it's still kind of, you got to just shake your head at it a little bit. Like,
it begs the question of whoever wins this Super Bowl, are they going to fit into Jacob's Hall of Fame Super Bowl category?
Well, I mean, I think Drake May would have a case. Sam Darnold's younger than people think he is.
He is. We looked that up. He's 28 He's 28.
Yeah. So he came into the league young. Could totally. I mean, that's too early, and that's not foolproof. Trent Dilfer, Brad Johnson. They won Super Bowls. Nick Foles has won a Super Bowl. It's just from the starting point. I think it's about 90 to 93% or something like that. Like this, that's I think the biggest thing that I wonder about. Is this one of those years? Is this the aberration year, or is this the beginning of something for one or both of these teams? I don't know what the better bet on that is. I think for the Seahawks, the Seahawks have drafted really well lately, and they have built a foundation that if Darnold can do it, I mean, Darnold, how good was Darnold this year? Would you say?
I mean, it wasn't what he was last year, but he was good.
He was okay, right? He was good. But he wasn't.
I mean, was he top 10?
I
think that's where I'd set the line at, like the 10th best quarterback.
Was he top 10 this year?
I mean, tell me the stats. Where's he at in the passing yards?
I'm looking right now. He was 5th in passing yards. He was 3rd in interceptions, though, with like the most. He had 25 passing touchdowns, which is good for 10th. Let's just go to quarterback rating. I know it's not foolproof, but let's just he had the 11th best quarterback rating.
There you go.
Of the quarterbacks that played a lot. So was he great? No, he wasn't. Was he good enough? Clearly he was. Let's go to ESPN's QBR. QBR had him 19th best this year in football. But that's all he needed to be, right?
It's true.
Because their defense is really good, because they can run the ball. But, you go to a guy like Drake May in some of those different categories, and he's probably going to be a little bit higher than that. The guy was an MVP candidate. He was first.
He's like top 3 in all the categories.
He was first in QBR. He was first in quarterback rating.
Yeah.
He was 4th in yards. Darnold was 5th in yards, but he was 4th in yards. So, I mean, if you're looking at the quarterbacks, May has been quite a bit better than Darnold this year. Not that Darnold's been bad. It's just May's been fantastic. So I think you got to, but Seattle is a more complete team right now. Sometimes that doesn't matter in the Super Bowl. And certainly sometimes it doesn't matter when you're talking about the quarterbacks willing their teams through. I suspect we'll see the Patriots come in, try to run the ball a ton, let Drake May make Superman plays, and see if they can find a way to try to throw it a little bit on Seattle's defense. The Rams just gave you a blueprint. Matt Stafford was awesome yesterday. 374 yards passing. It was great. The Patriots don't have a Puka Nacua. They don't have a Devontae Adams either. They have Mac Hollins and Steph Diggs and Kayshon Boutte and Hunter Henry. Not that those guys are bad, but they're going to have to, it's going to be a Drake May game, right? It's going to be, if they win the game, it'll be because of Drake May. The Rams couldn't run the ball at all yesterday on Seattle. I'm not sure that I imagine the Patriots do, but can the Patriots play good defense? Can the Patriots control the ball? Can the Patriots not make any mistakes and have Drake May? Sure, they can. 3.5 points for 3.5 points for a reason.
Yep. Did you see the story last night that final play from the Patriots, that Drake May rollout? He just did that. It wasn't a play. I think they were like supposed to just run it with them.
He also didn't tell his teammates.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to be like a QB draw, is what it kind of said. It sounded like he was going to run.
It was supposed to be a run.
Oh, was he supposed to hand it off? I didn't see that. Okay.
Then, that's what I read this morning. He was supposed to hand it off, and instead
I saw the offensive lineman talking about that they went this way, hit their man, and then looked up, and all the defenders were running the other way. And he's like, "What is going on?"
He wanted to sell it, I guess. If you really want to sell it, don't tell anybody. Everybody go do that so you can get around there. He's something. He's really good, man. He is really good. And you think about the numbers we just talked about, and you look at his cast of characters. Now he's got a good offensive line. He's, some of that stuff, but I'm telling you, they feel like, to me, a team with that coach that they're going to load up. They're only going to get better. I think the Seahawks were seeing peak, which is fine. They're really good. But do we think, again, do you think this is an aberration? Or do you think next year we get right back to the AFC led by Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Jackson? I mean, Drake May is next year. I'm as interested. This is a crazy thing to say, but I genuinely mean this. I'm as interested in Drake May next year as I am in Drake May in the Super Bowl. Like, is this for real? Is he for real? What's he going to do? I know we got to see the Super Bowl first, but I just want to know. I love great quarterback play. I love it. And I hope that we have another great one here. And I hope we have another good, long-lasting relationship with Sam Darnold, too. It's a great story.
The thing about Drake May is that you kind of have to hold your breath a little bit because, I think back to, this is better, obviously, but like CJ Stroud, remember he had the big year, and it's like the Texans are going to be the team. It's going to be Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, and CJ Stroud. And now we've gotten to this point. So that's the thing you hold your breath about. But I mean, living in the moment, I agree. I mean, they're a team that you could have thrown them in with the AFC gauntlets over the years. They may not have still beaten the Chiefs, as the Chiefs were that good over the past couple of years, or the Bills were that good over the past couple of years. But I mean, that's a team that can be right in there with it. And it's just so weird. It's just so weird that the AFC wasn't good this year.
It doesn't make any sense. Because it's been so predictable for a decade. We're going on 10 years. Yeah, I mean, pretty much a decade. It's been predictable, right? You can just write it down.
Yeah, here's a stat for you for the minute we have left here. From Kendall Baker on X. 5 schools have produced a Super Bowl winning quarterback and a U.S. president. Delaware, Miami of Ohio, Michigan, Stanford, Navy, and UNC if Drake May does it. And Ryan Fitzpatrick blew it for Harvard. That's where I saw that.
Yeah. I saw that one yesterday. That's a good one.
Good stat. Good stat. The one I sent you about it's going to be Mike versus Mike for the third time in Super Bowl history. Crazy.
Mike versus Mike. Mike and Mike.
Mike Vrabel, Mike McDonald.
Just silliness. It's fun though. We got a Super Bowl nobody expected.
Are you going to talk yourself into the Patriots by the time it's time to play?
I highly doubt it. But maybe. How are you not in on Drake May? I mean, and how do you not love Mike Vrabel? But I doubt it. I don't think so. I think Seattle's better. All right, we'll come back. Paul Mills, Wichita State head men's basketball coach, joins us next.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Is on KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. It is Sports Daily. Glad to be here with you on the program. Joined now by Wichita State head men's basketball coach Paul Mills. Coach, that was as fun a win as I can recall. That was a really great environment, great circumstances going in. You guys are moving up the standings a little bit. How good did that one feel? Any different than any of the others?
Well, TJ's been around me enough to know that the answer to that is no. Yeah. And it's just really thankful, and mentioned this in the press conference after the game, just really thankful to everybody who came out under, we were predicting Snowmageddon. I think on Wednesday they were telling me somebody mentioned 13 inches of snow, and I'm glad usually those forecasts are well under whatever picture that they're trying to paint. But I know it's not easy, and it's way easier to sit in front of your fireplace and watch this on television, given that it was a nationally televised game. But I thought the crowd was impactful, and I thought our guys played well. And there were some lulls during the course of the game, but we were able to overcome that. And really pretty much from start to finish able to be, out in front of that basketball game.
Yeah, this is one that, Memphis was, projected the preseason favorite. They're in a little bit of a skid right now as they're hoping to get home in the snow. I don't even know if they have made it home yet. I don't with all the weather and everything that was going on. But, right there, this kind of felt like a litmus test of a team that was going to be in the top half of the conference, upper echelon, if you want to put it that way. Did it feel like it was a good litmus test for your guys?
I mean, I wouldn't put too much on those predictions. You basically have to go out there and play the game. There's obviously injuries that factor in, and I don't, we haven't played everybody, and we'll get to see Tulsa here in 6 days and be able to play those guys. But I just think that when you're in conference play, it's just so unpredictable, and you have to show up every night. And if you don't show up, you can get beat by anybody. And, I think there's a lot of teams in this league where you could say they could beat anybody, but at the same time, they could lose. If they don't stay true to whatever their identity is and they get outside of that, they could lose. And it's Memphis is good, talented. They were missing Sincere Parker. But again, I thought Memphis doesn't allow you to play pretty basketball. They kind of want to muck it up. They're going to go double the post. They denied KG for a lot of the basketball game. And we needed to make smart decisions. And I thought that we did that for the most part.
You mentioned KG, and I thought that was one of the more interesting things. He was so good against East Carolina, and like there's a pretty decent correlation, I think, to you guys winning or losing games and his offensive performances. This, though, wasn't a game where he was at his best offensively, and you guys still found a way to win and win big. I mean, that feels like, whether it is or it isn't, it feels like a pretty nice thing for the team to be able to hang its hat on. Like, we went out and we beat that team when he wasn't that dude on that day.
Yeah, I agree. It's getting contributions from everybody, 4 different guys in double figures. Of the 17 assists that we had on the 30 buckets, 10 of them were by our bigs. TJ has 3, Will Berg has 4, and then Dylan Batee has 3. And I thought, we were getting contributions from a lot of different people. Thought Brian and Unique being able to come in, hit those 3 threes right off the bat, just being aggressive. I didn't think we were passive. There were earlier times in the year where we were trying to be just like, am I getting this exactly right? And the ball was just sticking. I thought the ball was moving. And more importantly, defensively, I thought we were really dialed in. I think those guys had 8 points at the 8-minute mark, and I know they finished there on a run, and to finish, they got 14 that last 8 minutes to finish with 22. But again, to be able to hold that team to 22 points and a half, it's a pretty good testament to just we were doing the right things defensively and limiting them to one shot. I mean, we are the best rebounding team in this league if you just look at rebounding margin. And that doesn't always translate game to game to game. But I thought limiting those guys to one shot, and more importantly, just mindful of the things we needed to do in order to be at a premium defensively.
Yeah, something the guys talked about after the game that kind of stuck with me is that, we've talked about this a lot. As you go through the losses, they've all kind of had a little bit of correlation of, Wichita State will go on a run and the other team will kind of make the ensuing run one way or another. And leads and everything like that, KG made the point of, like, as we keep going and finding ourselves in these games, like, we're finding ways to keep leads. We're finding ways to go win games. Was that kind of a point of pride? I know you've talked about, working on that kind of thing.
Definitely. And I mean, this is going to happen. I mean, you're going to go on a run. The other team is going to go on a run. Just because you go on one doesn't mean the other team isn't going to go on one. And, I was looking at some formations from 4 years ago when I was coaching at Oral Roberts, and was reminded there in the second round game, we were down 11 to Florida with 9 minutes to go. And they're going to happen in the NCAA tournament. They're going to happen in home games. They're going to happen in away games. But you need to understand, one, shot selection is the most important thing. You can't be casual. And then, are we making sure that the other team is taking the shots that we would prefer? And so shot selection works on both sides. And I think you just got to get guys dialed in on that. There's sometimes I go back to, being up 18 at Charlotte. Like when we got up 18, there were possessions we were just casual. And with young people, you think that, man, I can take a play off here or there. And it's just not the case. And so I didn't think that was the case the other day, even though, that lead got up to 24 and, with 16 minutes to play. And I mean, they cut it to 12. You knew that there was a run coming, but it's the ability to weather that storm that's important.
Dylan Battie, Coach Paul Mills joining us here on Sports Daily, has really started to gain confidence, it looks like, at least in his offense. He's become a starter. His shot volume has gone up. Is that, nice to have that on these Giles games? Giles can score at any point, at any time, but he attacks a little bit different way. How important is that for you guys to have that offensively?
Yeah, really. I mean, you have to have other guys on the court. And so, man, let's say they're blitzing pick and roll and they're taking Michael out and they're taking KG out. We had a big performance by Karan Boyd last week at South Florida with his 17. I think Will Berg and Emmanuel, we're going to get consistent out of them simply because they're both top 10 in our conference at being able to offensive rebound. And they're going to be able to keep basketballs alive and finish, and then at the same time kick out for three. But we needed somebody else to emerge, and TJ was kind of that guy earlier in the year, and then suffered a concussion, and kind of it's taken him a little bit of time to get back in the swing of things after that. But I think Dylan, when we first started him in the North Texas game that TJ didn't play in, you could see his eyes were a little big, and it took him 4 or 5 minutes to settle in. I was glad when he got the and one opportunity, pretty early, get us our 4th point of the game in order to tie it up on Memphis. That he's settling in a little bit quicker. I think he understands his defense actually hurt East Carolina to the Memphis game was actually a lot better. It wasn't just a little bit better, but he accepts coaching. He understands the things that he needs to do. And it's valuable because we need 5 people on the court who can really do something on both ends.
Yeah, no midweek game this week, so now it looks ahead to this weekend, and it's a team in Tulsa that has 3 losses on the year. We saw them take K-State down to the 2-second mark of the game. They started off conference play kind of with back-to-back losses there, but since then, I mean, they've looked the part of what you want to see from your team. I imagine if you're the coach down in Tulsa, what's it going to take to go get one on the road in a place that you're familiar with too?
Man, TJ, this is way too early. Like, I mean, I'm used to preparing for a Wednesday.
You got a week to get ready, yeah,
for a Sunday game. So knowing that, yesterday I did do quite a bit of work, but the work was on us. So I am aware of their record. I do know. I think they have 2 losses in conference. I know we're kind of. I mentioned this after our Charlotte loss, and I told the team in the locker room, I think the team that wins this league, 3, 4, maybe even 5 losses. Looking at KenPom, I know they project the leader to have 5 losses. So, we'll see how this plays out during the course. But I just don't know enough about Tulsa, and we'll figure it out. But the most important team that we have to be concerned with is the Shockers, and we actually were off yesterday. We'll be off today. Practice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday we'll get together, but it'll be light. And then Friday, Saturday, 2 prep days in order to make sure we're on point for Sunday.
Strength on strength. That Shocker defense, KenPom has them as a top 25 offense, which is pretty wild. I love it. To me, Tulsa should be the rivalry of this league. I know it's kind of felt like Memphis, but right down the road. Wichita State Tulsa feels like it needs to be a rivalry game. And hopefully with them being good this year, we can lean into that a little bit.
Well, we need the Shockers to be good. So, those guys, yeah, there's regional ties there, former, conference foes. And so there's a long history here. So Kenton Polino, the associate head coach here, he coached at Tulsa, and he said, man, every time Wichita State played here, mentioning when they were at the Reynolds Center, he said it felt like a home game for Wichita State. So I really appreciate the fact that our fans travel, and it's only 2.5 hours away. And again, it's on a weekend at 1 o'clock. So I think it'll be a really good basketball game. We're looking forward to it.
It should be fun, Coach. We appreciate it. Nice win, nice performance, good crowd. It felt like good Shocker energy on Saturday. Enjoy a few days off here. Go play in the snow.
Have you shoveled your driveway yet, Coach?
No, you know what? I told you I have a 4x4. It's a Ford Explorer. So I just drive over that stuff. So I don't know why you need to shovel your driveway if you can just drive over it. So
some of us need the exercise, Coach. That's why.
Yeah, that may be true. Yeah, I'm not. I need to save my back. I don't need to do that much work.
I hear you. I hear you, Coach. Congrats on the win,
Jacob. TJ, thank you.
There goes Paul Mills, Wichita State head men's basketball coach. I always appreciate bringing the same energy to every game, but as from the fans' perspective, TJ, that was a big win.
It's a big one. It's only the 5th time they've ever beat Memphis since they joined the American Conference.
Well,
look, I
Memphis,
understand it's not the Memphis team that we've seen and all that stuff, blah 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 blah. But like, to go and get that, it's still like
it's not even the best Memphis team they beat. They beat a better Memphis team last year.
They've beat Memphis now 3 years in a row, and that's the whatever you want to call it, the flagship of the American Conference or whatever it is at this point.
Has been, yeah.
Yes, now that Houston's gone, they are, and so that's big to go win 3 years in a row, and whatever Memphis team it may be.
I'm just like the what we're seeing on the floor, the rebounding, more consistent defense, more scoring options. I hope that carries through. That's probably the last biggest thing to carry through, right? The non-KG games, they correlate. KG was not great on Saturday, and the Shocker offense was still plenty good. But we can talk more about that, your comments on it in the next hour. We'll get to that KU K-State game when we return on Sports Daily.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
83-1001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. Glad to be here with you. It is a reaction Monday as we have a Super Bowl set now. Patriots, Seahawks. Congratulations to Max Power, his New England Patriots. He's been telling us this was going to be a year. I don't even think Max thought this was going to be the outcome this year. Biggest Patriots fan in the world thought this was going to be how far they could come. Jacob Albrock, TJ Cleveland here. You can reach us lots of different ways. 869-1240 on the KFH hotline, Facebook, YouTube, X with your video comments. You can also send us voice messages through the Odyssey app. Thanks for watching us on 12 News Connected. We'll talk more about the championship weekend in the NFL. We'll hit the Sunflower Showdown from the past weekend, which we have not yet discussed. It's all What's on Tap, brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company, now featuring Buffalo Sweat. You can help Buffalo by drinking Buffalo Sweat right here in Kansas, January and February at all 3 WBC locations. A portion of proceeds from every draft pint of Buffalo Sweat Oatmeal Cream Stout will help support Maxwell Wildlife Refuge, WBC Pizza and Beer made here. YouTuber Derpy something says he'll be real. We should all boycott the NFL and the Super Bowl because the Patriots are in it. They've been in it 37% of the time since 2001. He's not going to watch it. I don't know if that commenter is a Chiefs fan, but I don't think you have much room there on that. You get lucky with a quarterback. If May's that dude, that's what it is. And
Let's ask this question. We talk about in baseball all the time that it's good to get the Diamondback Rangers World Series because it's the parity. Is it good for football to have the Patriots back in a Super Bowl? For viewership, you know what I mean? Like,
well, it's not the sexiest viewership Super Bowl.
Okay, I don't even want to say viewership. I want to say like growing the game. Like I guess is the biggest thing I want to say.
The NFL doesn't need to grow.
I know,
The
but
NFL's fine.
you know what I mean. Like
I know what you're saying. Would it be better to have the Texans and this? I mean, the Seahawks. Hell, the Seahawks have been there 3 times in the last 10, 15 years. So would it be better to have Texans? God, who else
Bills,
was even in it?
Who? What did we say the chaos scenario was? Bills versus
Bears.
Who? Bills,
Bears,
yeah.
Texans. No, Bills would have been great viewership, right?
Bills
would have been. And this will be great viewership. It's the Super Bowl. Everything has to have a beginning, right? Like you have to start somewhere. So if Drake May is going to have a chance to do this a bunch of times, you got to start somewhere. Joe Burrow's never been back.
Yep.
We all thought that was the start of Burrow Mania, and he's incredible and never made it back, right? So you don't know. That's what makes what the Patriots did the first time, really Tom Brady, because then he turned around and did it with the Bucs, or what Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs have done immediately following it. It's been a long time since we've had parity in the NFL. Long time. And we've seen little runs for teams up before the Patriots, right? You'd have a little 2-3 year run. But then it would kind of flame out and it would turn itself back over. That's the craziest thing, is you had such a long stretch of, Patriots / Brady and then Mahomes that it's all we've gotten used to. I think that's what makes this feel stranger than anything. Growing up, like after the Cowboys dynasty, so from 95 to, for that 6-year stretch to 2001 or whatever it was, like you bounced around a little bit. Like it wasn't as predictable. So I don't know what to make. I wonder that as much as anything else as we get through yesterday's games. Are either of these teams built to be the next one? The Eagles we thought might be, and they got busted this year. I don't know that we're going to see these dynasties anymore. It's hard to do. Hard to do, but we've seen it so recently twice.
It's interesting. Like you brought the point up earlier, the changing of the guard. I don't think that it is, but I think that thinking of it in that terms of like, could it be the start of something of, the Patriots doing all this stuff? I think that the Patriots could go get better, get offensive weapons, and really try to double down on the window that they're in right now. And it could just be a normal AFC year and they'd be the 4th best team. You know what I mean? Like it just depends on what next year looks like for the Chiefs, Ravens, Bills, with new head coaches for the latter two. But it's just such a weird year that I don't know what you can take away from it going forward.
Well, and I think the other thing you ask and you wonder, it's kind of been the Jackson, Allen, Mahomes, AFC. They're all right around 30. So it becomes more of a question of, are we about to have a bunch of people join them? Right? Is Drake May going to join them, and Burrow and Herbert now with the Chargers with a good coaching situation and some bad luck? But I think there are lots of, like, are we just going to see an evening out now? I think there's probably a pretty good chance of that. The NFC's been pretty even for a while. It's just been an AFC conversation, right? Where it's been so top heavy, so locked into this, what feels like the same teams every year. Now maybe that spreads out a little bit. I think there's probably a pretty good chance of that. I don't think we're going to see the Chiefs dominate the way they've dominated the last 8 or 9 years. I think they're going to pick their spots and take their shots. But it's probably not, the next 8 years of being in AFC championship games again. Like that's probably unlikely. There's too many good quarterbacks in the league right now for that. But maybe everything goes back to normal. Maybe the Patriots make it to the AFC championship game now every year with Drake May and Mike Vrabel. I mean, I think it's possible. What if Seattle and Darnold? I don't know. They're a really good team right now.
Seattle's such an interesting one because we talked about them back in September of what they did this year. Of like, I mean, they traded away DK Metcalf and we're basically like, yeah,
and
we got
Geno Smith.
Yeah, we're like, we don't need Geno, we don't need DK Metcalf. Like they were good too. Like they weren't bad. And I think they're just like, yeah, like we've got Sam Darnold and Smith and Jigba, like it'll be fine. Like we'll bring in old man Cooper Kupp. We've got Mike McDonald. Like we'll see what we can do. And then it's like, whoa, they are nuclear good. Like that is such a gamble, and to see it pay off like that is really baller. I can't lie.
Clint Kubiak, their offensive coordinator, is going to get one of these jobs. He's really good at what he does. I mean, TJ, I went on national radio on one of the shows leading up to the season, and probably in the same show said the Patriots under 10 wins was my favorite bet of the offseason of futures, and had our pal Ariel Orsuto, who's now working in Seattle, in to ask the question, what do we even know about Seattle and what are they doing with these trades? Like those were topics on the preseason show that I had. Like, this is crazy. Like, it's crazy. This outcome.
That's what's where, if you think about the question that you posed there of, what can they sustain the success? I have no idea. We didn't think they were going to be that good this year. Like, it's such a, like, I don't want to say it's a flash in the pan because they're freaking awesome, but
no, I don't think it's a flash in the pan.
I don't think it is either, but like, they're just so good out of nowhere that it's not something to where it's like, you could make a case with the Patriots. It's like, yeah, Drake May looked pretty good last year. Like they've got these guys here, blah, 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 blah. It's like when you start thinking about the, Josh Allen back in whenever he started ramping up, and even Bo Nix, you could make an argument for the Broncos being as good as they were going to be this year and things like that. And then this year, Seattle's just like, yeah, we're going to make 4 trades and we're going to go to the Super Bowl. And it's like,
I've got a good way to phrase it for you. You got to make this bet today. Are either of these teams back in the Super Bowl next year? Are either of these teams back in the AFC Championship game or back in Championship weekend next year?
That's an interesting one. I could see that maybe, but I don't think they're going to the Super Bowl. I guess I have no idea about the NFC, though. Like, the Seahawks are the question there. I don't think the Patriots are going back to the AFC Championship next year, if you want me to make a bet. I think that the AFC, the law of averages is going to come back, and the Chiefs are going to be back there, or the Ravens are going to be back there, and the Bills are going to be back there. And I think the Texans could even be better if they can figure out their offense a little bit. Like, I think they're going to be in the pack. I don't think that they're going to be – I wouldn't bet on them making it back to the AFC Championship. On the NFC side, I have no idea. I mean, the Rams are probably still going to be really good. Like, other than that, I mean – I could see that.
Two of the 3 best Rams players are right on the edge of retirement.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know who's good in the NFC.
I think there's a better chance for Seattle, and I think you're right. I think the chances that Baltimore, Kansas City, Cincinnati, I mean, Buffalo was good this year, so I don't want to say that Buffalo will, get better. Buffalo was already, they didn't have a down year. I mean, they won a playoff game. But the chances that Kansas City, Baltimore, and Cincinnati get better next year are very high.
The chances that they don't make the playoffs again is astronomical.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, so probably you're going to have those 3 back in the mix. Burrow's healthy. The Chiefs are probably the biggest question out of those 3, honestly, because we don't know yet about Patrick Mahomes' health. But, just general conversation, the path would be much more difficult next year because the Jags and the Texans also aren't going anywhere. So
here's an interesting one.
What does that mean for the Patriots? But the Patriots are also going to be better next year.
They will be. Where in that conversation do the Denver Broncos fit in? Are they in that mix?
Don't ask me that question. Don't ask me that question. Is Sean Payton the most unlikable coach in the NFL? He's so lame. He's so lame. All right, we'll come back. We'll put that. Just file that away. We'll go back to it. God, what a crazy NFL season. We'll come back though, and we're going to talk some Sunflower Showdown on the other side. Stick around.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
83-1001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite, or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
$869-1240.
Time to get busy.
This is Sports Daily on KFH.
We're glad to have you back here, everybody, on Sports Daily. Good to be with you. Thanks to Crestview Country Club noticed this weekend they had those simulators fired up. Everything was shut down except those simulators. So even in the golf, if you want to just trick the weather, go in 2 state-of-the-art simulators right there at Crestview, getting you ready, waiting for the weather to turn, and all that January golf everybody's been playing, which has been a lot this year, has been right there for you. Give them a call, ask them about all the different memberships. You get a good deal right now. They tell us when you call them. Tell them we sent you. Welcome back in, everybody. YouTube, Zach, a good listener of the program, Husker fan, 20-0 Huskers. I will see where they land in the AP Top 25 in just a little bit. I'm telling you, they are fun. If you haven't watched them, they're a fun team. I kind of am bummed that they're doing this because after that K-State game, I was like, oh, yeah, that's a team I'm picking to win a couple of games in the tournament for sure. And now they're going to end up being like a 2 seed. So it's like,
exactly.
how cool is that?
Have you, did you see this stat now that Nebraska and Arizona won this past weekend? There's now 3 20-0 college basketball teams with those 2 in Miami of Ohio. Only the second time in at least 40 years that a college basketball season has featured 3 20-0 teams. This is from Matt Norlander of CBS. Can you name the other time that happened?
Because there have been 3 20-0 teams
in 1 year.
Well, Doak and Dot would have been there with San Diego State. Was there a third that year?
How about you ready? 2014, Arizona, Syracuse, and Wichita State.
Okay.
It all ties back.
I wouldn't have got that. That's a good one. Good stuff. But yeah, look, go for it. Nebraska, I think it's cool. That team is fun to watch. And I would have never seen them had they not played K-State. But man, that's an interesting looking team. And now, of course, it shouldn't surprise us. They've got a great coach. You got all the resources of the Big Ten. They should be good. But they're having a really nice year. So is Kansas. All of a sudden, TJ, we had our questions about the Jayhawks, and they are now just kind of rolling through this thing. Big winners over K-State. There are 2 sides to this story for sure. You have the KU side, which is all optimism and sunshine, and then you have K-State's, and it couldn't be much worse for the Cats right now. But let's start with the Jayhawks side of this. They had a plan. Everybody knew what the plan needed to be. You go, you attack them with your bigs, and they did, and they dominated, and it was close for half,
it was close for about 25 minutes.
Yeah, maybe a half, maybe a little more than that. But it just, I'm watching Kostic knock down 4 threes to open the game, and I'm like, they ain't sustaining that.
I loved the stuff going down on social media because Kostic hasn't played. I mean, it's the first time he's had minutes in a month, and there was Bill Self going crazy on the sideline, and all these KU fans saying "Who is this guy and why is he making?" And all these K-State fans are like, "Welcome to the club, buddy. We want to put him in the game."
Yeah. I don't know why he's not. Wyatt Thompson has told us he's one of the best shooters that he's seen.
He was supposed to be the best player on the team, right there with Haggerty, and something happened. But I mean, that's the level. I mean, if you can make 4 threes in 10 minutes of play, that's what Kellis Robinette brought up on social media. Is that I don't care how bad he is at everything else. If he can just do that, put him on the court.
Well, they're already a bad defensive team. So what? How much
worse are
they going to get defensively?
Just try to score 100.
Yeah, I mean that's it, and it's man, it's again. We'll get to them. For KU though, you're seeing it now. They're back square. Kind of the separation. If you look at the Big 12 standings, has happened in what were pretty clearly the best 6 teams. In the league: Arizona, Texas Tech, BYU, Houston, Iowa State, Kansas, and then you've got that next rung. Kansas belongs in that top rung, even with their 5 losses. And I think this is a team. I think any of these 6 teams, by the way, not just Kansas, but any of the 6 have deep tournament potential.
Nope.
We've gotten a look now. We haven't seen Texas Tech directly, but they've played so many big games. You've probably seen them by now. They had a huge win over Houston over the weekend, but all 6 of those teams feel like any of them could make a Final Four run. And that's really cool for the league. Really good to feel, though, that Kansas is back into that mix because they are. They are. in that mix. And I know that we're watching Arizona do some pretty wild and crazy things. But again, I'll say this about Kansas. We still have not seen the best of Kansas. Still.
I know.
January 26th. I think we've seen the best defensive version of Kansas at times, but I don't think we've seen the best offensive version of Kansas yet. And a lot of it has to do with Peterson's health. I get it. But there's still more there for this offense.
Yep.
And if we can be that defensive team consistently, they'll be just fine. I don't know how many games they'll win in the Big 12. I don't know where they'll finish in the Big 12. They may finish 6th. I mean, okay, they might. That's fine. I don't really care, though. Like, the seed, none of it matters. Like, it just means nothing this year because it won't tell. Like, when they get to the tournament, just tell me that Peterson's healthy and they're playing, whatever it is, the best version of basketball that they have in the tank. And that upside is just so much higher than the last 2 years. The last 2 years, they peaked in, November. And you look at it and you're like, is that it? Like, that feels like 2 wins in the tournament is a huge success for them, right? Where else can they go? This team, like, we are scratching the surface with this offense. It feels like to me anyway.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that there is they've won 4 straight games, and as they go into this one against BYU this weekend, which is probably going to be a top 15 versus top 15 once this poll comes out.
Yeah.
And so, if they can win that game, I think that sets a fuse of
on the road, they won't be favored, will they? Does that out yet? What does Kim Palm think? Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. So, but even still, if you can go and by the way, we haven't talked about this yet.
Game day
I can't wait to talk to Trace about that. DeBonsta scored 43 this past weekend, and all these draft people are saying he's number one. He's the number.
That's what I was saying earlier. This is
whoa,
hope Peterson can
on.
go. Peterson at Allen Fieldhouse, college game day is going to be there. Game day, that's all for 2 hours. We're going to see game day for all week. We're going to see one versus, however, this is the spot where you hope Peterson's healthy. But at the same time, well, DeBonsa's probably not going for 41 against Kansas's defense, but it's just now's the time for Peterson to really explode in there. If he's healthy, I mean, a bum ankle's a bum ankle. Self said after the game that he wouldn't have been able to do much had he played. After the game, Bill Self said he thinks he'll play Saturday. So there's good news, KU fans. But he also said had he played, he wouldn't have been able to explode. His ankle was bad enough that he would have been completely ineffective according to Self. So he does have to get over an injury now before that.
He said that he should be good to go. Is what Self said last time he talked. And so that you hope that could stay true and everything like that. But I mean, that's a massive game.
What
if he scores 50? What if he scores 50 on national TV with game day there over DeBonta? Holy
50
cow.
in college basketball probably isn't happening.
I'm exaggerating, but you get.
But I get what you're saying. What if he scores 30? What if he scores 35? But at the same time, I also want them to play their best brand of basketball. So what can happen in front of the home crowd is you force it. Now he's going to take his shots. He just has to make the shots that he takes. But I don't know that KU is going to walk in there and say, all right, let's get DP more shots in this game. I think it'll be more about make the shots that you're taking. And I also without I've seen highlights of BYU. I've watched DeBonsa a little bit. Is BYU capable of stopping KU down low? Because that's where they should start every game. You start down low every game if you're KU.
Yeah.
And make them stop Flory Badunga and a little bit of Bryson Tiller, but mostly Badunga. Make you start there.
That's what
Can you got an answer for those guys? Because then you get into a little Darren Peterson creating offense and those kinds of things.
It's a good recipe. I mean, you brought it up early in the show that this KU has always been good at doing that. No matter even when Frank Mason was playing, I can't remember who the bigs were that he played with all those years.
They've always had good bigs.
Exactly. You think about the Wiggins year, how effective Joel Embiid was whenever they were both on the court together. It's the perfect example of what they've done. Back in Jeff Withey, everything kind of ran not ran through them, but it started with them. And it's a good way to put it. And, obviously, Flory's not going to score 30 points when Darren Peterson's on the court, especially, but the amount of gravity that you can, when you have gravity down low and gravity in Darren Peterson, like that's the ceiling that we keep talking about. They could go on a title run and beat the brakes off of teams, and nobody'd be shocked if this offense could just explode like that. And we haven't seen it yet, but it's there.
The number of high quality bigs that have come through for Bill Self is staggering. And I think Badunga, I'm not going to say as a sophomore he's right there with any of them, but if he played all 4 years, like if you could tell me Badunga was a senior at Kansas, he'll be as good as any of them.
You can say, I would go as far as to say he's the most athletic of any of them.
Right there with Doak, probably, yeah.
He's a freak. He can guard point guards. Like Embiid wasn't doing that, but Embiid could jump out of the gym as well, though.
And Doak was such a load, nobody was stopping him either. So it's different, right? He was just so big. But we saw that last year, and that was the thing going back to the offseason with Badunga. When he officially entered the portal and then came back out, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So when he went in, like my big thing was it's top priority to get him, but because like where else is he going to go have a better opportunity than being the unquestioned look at what his predecessor did. Look at the numbers Dickinson put up. Like that was the only thing holding him back last year, but there is not a better place in the country to be a center than at Kansas. It's been that way for a long time. So getting him back was tremendous. I imagine that he will go pro after this year. He's got way too much upside. I'd be surprised if he doesn't. But if he does, kind of like Bryson Tiller too. And I think both of those guys being out there is an interesting dynamic to a team because you're seeing a team now with a 7-man rotation. Like they want to play 7 guys, and 2 of them, Elmarko Jackson and Jamari McDowell, aren't starting when Peterson's there. That means you're running those 2 bigs out there the majority of every game that you play, and I am fascinated by that. I'm fascinated by it because it should raise your defensive floor so much. Maybe not against like an elite 3-point shooting team, but my goodness, good luck getting down there and trying to score with those 2 guys. And then they can also bring a little offense to the table. But let's not fool ourselves. That college game day atmosphere, all the hype we're going to hear all week long about Peterson, DeBonsa, you're at Allen Fieldhouse. Like this is going to be a Peterson spotlight. Hopefully, if he's healthy, like if he's fully ready to go. I mean, it's shot for shot. You can predict that this is good. We're gonna be talking about that game for a long time. Like it's the talk of that game will go right up to the draft.
Yep. It's true. Like that was the reason that I can't remember actually if they got, I don't think there is 2 BYU games on the schedule. I think they only got the 1 because that was a big deal, but there wasn't.
There's just one. There's just the one match, which is a bummer.
That's when the schedule came out. That was a talking point of like, we only get to see them play each other 1 time in college, and then they're going to go pro. Well, I guess in the tournament, it could be something. Another point we haven't talked about from the Sunflower Showdown, Elmarko scored 19 points off the bench. Like that's under the radar 19 points. Like I didn't watch that game and say like Elmarko's going off. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like if he can get you 19 points off your bench, whenever we're talking about like, there's going to be times
he won't if Peterson plays. But
exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Like it wouldn't shock you at all. They'll play 7 guys like you're talking about, and it really wouldn't shock you at all if only 5 guys had points that night. You know what I mean? Like the 7 guys, like Elmarko and Jamari, are kind of the plug and play in the holes that you have type of thing. Like Jamari didn't score a point, and he's played 23 minutes, and he did what he needed to do. But like they've got 4 guys that are going to score, or 5 guys that are going to score the basketball, and then like whatever you can get on top of that is gravy.
It's both of those guys, McDowell and Jackson, feel like guys that if they stick around and become seniors are going to be really good players. But by the end of it, I hope that they do. But remember, Elmarko Jackson is a freshman. Like we had big expectations for that dude as a freshman. He was supposed to be this like he's
McDowell's All-American.
Yeah, was McDowell an All-American too?
I don't know.
I as freshman, I kind of favored McDowell there for a little bit, but I can't remember if he had this. I don't think he had quite the same level of hype as El Marco.
No, I don't think so.
But look, they don't. That's what you start to like. And I know 7 feels tight, but man, that it's coming together for him. How about this for the next games for KU? Tech after BYU, it's Texas Tech and Arizona. That's 3 out of their next 4. Utah's mixed in there too at home. 3 of them are at home. BYU and Arizona are both at home. But BYU, then Tech and Arizona in 3 of your next 4?
Yep.
Whew. What are we talking about on Tuesday, February? Oh, and by the way, Iowa State's after that. So let's call it 4 out of the next 5. Goodness gracious. And that's the road Iowa State game. God.
In the same breath, though, I mean, that opportunity there, like, we're talking about the ceiling. You want to go prove it. Go run a table of those that you just got there. Like, you'd be in the – if you could run the table of that, you have a legitimate chance to win the Big 12. Because Arizona's got to lose eventually.
No, nobody's running the Big 12. Arizona, I suppose could because they've been doing it, but like Tech, Houston, it's not going to happen. And it doesn't matter. I'm fired up for those games. I am, but that's not going to tell the story. I don't think of Kansas. I think we don't get that story for another month. Can Peterson become? He still hasn't even become what he can become. Right? We still haven't seen peak Peterson.
I mean, not to keep bringing this up, but he got hurt in that Colorado game. He finished the game, and that was the first time we've seen him on the court with 0 0s. And he was hurt. And
he was hurt.
We still haven't seen it. That's
go
the
back
point
and
here.
watch it. Go back and watch it. Like, it looks like he snaps his ankle.
Oh yeah, he was hurt. 100% he was hurt.
I'm just saying, if it comes back, that's a fortunate break.
Yeah, it is. I'm saying that talking about his ceiling, we haven't even seen, I don't think, because we haven't seen him play we haven't seen him play 35 minutes in a game. If you can get the level of Peterson that we had against Baylor to start that game, what if this BYU and I know I keep putting unnecessary hype around this, but
no, it's not unnecessary.
What if this game is tight down the stretch and he just has to just keep going because he's got the hot hand? He could get to 40 plus so easily the way he plays basketball.
Doesn't it feel though like BYU's a little more dependent on DeBonsa than KU is on Peterson?
I don't know. BYU's really good.
They're really good, but what I mean is KU's best version of itself again starts down low. It doesn't even start with Peterson.
Yeah, it's true.
And then you've got Council, who you're trying to say, go be aggressive even when he's on the floor. And he is now. I think he's gotten over that. The other side of this game, yikes. K-State fans, how you feeling today? Let's talk about that next.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story, Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
On KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. The Butler Grizzlies basketball tonight on 97.5 and 1240 KFH. Tune in 7:15 for the broadcast start in Hutch, taking on the Blue Dragons. Big rivalry game. Dennis Higgins on the call. KFH Radio or KFHradio.com to tune in to that one. TJ, you sent me a little breaking news during the break. Phillip Rivers has apparently pulled his name out of the Buffalo Bills head coaching search. Buffalo wasn't going to hire Phillip Rivers. Were they? I don't think so. Clint Kubiak is just based on nothing else. But right now, I would tell you that I think Clint Kubiak is going to be the next Buffalo Bills head coach.
Did he interview for it?
No, he's coaching the Seahawks. He's a little busy.
Yeah, it's true. I guess. I don't know. I guess you'll wait and see. He is probably like one of the bigger fish that are still left to land. I mean, who else are the big fish at this point? Marcus Freeman, who says he doesn't want to come?
Yeah, he would be an interesting hire for Buffalo. I mean, look, that's the thing. If you're not getting Freeman out of college this year, when Buffalo and Baltimore and
I agree.
Pittsburgh are all on the table. Pittsburgh hiring Mike McCarthy over the
Yep.
weekend. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. But I think Kubiak's gonna be the next coach of Buffalo. And it just my gut.
I could see it. We'll write it down. Go back to Sunflower Showdown. I want to bring this point up. This is very silly, but I want to say it because it's sports talk radio, and sometimes we're silly. Tweeted this out over the weekend during the game, and it's kind of making its rounds. People are engaging with this one quite a bit. This jersey matchup. What did you think of it?
From the Sunflower Showdown? The font of KU.
No, those jerseys. I'm not talking about the font. I'm just talking about the fact that K-State wore their dark grays and KU wore white on the road in the Sunflower Showdown.
I mean, that's the second game in a row K-State's done that.
No, I don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind the dark grays. I'm saying my point that I made is that I hate when teams wear alternate jerseys in rivalry games. The reason being, somebody brought this up, and I couldn't agree more with it. Ohio State, Michigan. 1 year, Ohio State wore all black jerseys. And it's like, that's the dumbest thing in the world. Because you think about these games, like, what if that game, and it turns out, it wasn't anything, but like, what if that game was the Keontae Johnson alley-oop in overtime over Jalen Wilson, K-State wins it, everything goes crazy. You go back and watch the highlights in 30 years, it's like, who's on the court? Why are they wearing black? What's going on? Like, this is a very old man take. I understand that.
I don't like alternate uniforms anyway.
I love them, but you can't wear them against your rivals. You can even.
I don't. They're easier to swallow in basketball than football because they play so many games.
It's true.
But
I've made this, and so the other side of this as well. It's not KU's fault; they didn't have a choice. KU has to wear white in Bramlage Coliseum. Like, just the principle of that feels wrong. Seeing the Jayhawks wear a home jersey in Bramlage Coliseum for both sides of it. For K-State, that would be tough to look at. Of KU wearing white in your gym, and for KU wearing white on the road just feels weird to begin with. Anyways, like. It drives me nuts. And I hate when teams do this. And it's not just a K-State thing. KU has worn their black jerseys in the Sunflower Showdown back-to-back years, I believe. And it's just like, or they didn't this year. They did 2 years ago whenever it was in Lawrence last, or 3 years ago, I guess. And it's just like, what are we wearing? What are we doing, guys? Like, wear purple and blue. Like, this is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, it's all about recruiting. It's all about what's cool. It's all
They're
about
not even that cool. They have
stadium.
the lavender. Wear your lavender jerseys with the curse of Wildcats on them and make everybody happy, which I don't think they've done yet this year. Those jerseys, they wore them all the time with Marquise. Those are sweet.
Yeah, I think they still do. I think they wear those. I think that's their primary road, actually. But they don't look good in any of them.
Sure.
That's probably the biggest issue here. TJ, they may be the 15th best team in the Big 12. I mean, they're better than Utah. They showed us that
by 3 points, and it was a sweat to get
at
there.
home.
At home, that feels like what's the Vegas thing? They give you 3 points if you're playing at home. So I
don't know, man. Like they can never be the worst team in the Big 12. That can't happen.
I wonder, like, man, the Jerome Tang conversation is so interesting. Because people are just clamoring for it in Manhattan now, which sucks because we love Jerome Tang. But but I mean, if you're the worst team in the 12, like,
that can't ever happen.
I know, like, especially with that roster. I don't know because college basketball has gotten off the rails, but that's a top 50 paid for roster. Like that roster cost more than Utah. That roster cost a lot more than West Virginia, probably
Oklahoma State. Like,
yeah.
Yes.
That it sucks. Like, and it's bad. Like, it can't be last place. Like, if you're K-State, who likes to think of himself, obviously you're not the KU type of basketball school, and your focus a lot of is on your football program. But if you want to bang your chest and about the Dean Wade years and the Jacob Pullen years and the Marquise Noel year, like, you think of yourself in that kind of a basketball thing and you want to compete for Big 12 titles, which isn't out of the realm. They almost did it 3 years ago. To go from that to being the worst team in the Big 12, like, I don't know what has to change, but like, it's not a fun product to watch.
9th, and 15th.
I know. 9th wasn't good enough.
Are what we're looking at here. I just, like, I don't know how else. Like, it is not okay. It's not okay. What was the worst Bruce Weber ever finished in the league? Let's look that up.
I think it was his last. I think it was his last year.
And you know, to be fair, he didn't play a lot in the current. He went 10th, 9th, 9th in his last 3. I mean, if that's not good,
and that was enough, and that was bad enough to run him out of town. Like, that's what's like. I don't know what they do though, because they kind of have their hands tied behind their back because of what they did with the contract extension, which was the right decision.
Buyout, I believe the buyout
it goes down
after this.
It goes down.
I don't know how he survives. I don't. That's the point of all that. I don't know how he survives. It'll what.
And to be fair, we were saying these things not to the same level degree, but this time last year we were sitting here saying like, golly, like I don't know how good they're going to be. This is pretty bad. And then they rattle off 7 straight wins and upset everybody and their mom
to finish 9th in the league.
But I don't see a world like their schedule. I wonder. Let's pull up Ken Palm. I love this. I love doing this. Let's pull up what Ken Palm thinks that they're going to finish the rest of the way. All right. West Virginia loss. Iowa State loss. TCU loss. A 1-point win versus Cincinnati at home. Loss at Houston. Loss versus Baylor. Loss at Texas Tech. Loss at Colorado. Loss home versus TCU. A 1-point win over West Virginia, and then a loss at KU by 16 to finish the year. That would put them at 3-15, 3-14. What's that math? 3-15.
Doesn't matter.
I don't know
how it works. I just think what is the hope? What is the promise on the other side? We're now 3 years into impressive portal classes going into the year, right? Different. They look different every year, but every year they've gotten a
5-star every single year.
Yeah. There's Doug McDaniel. Then there's Coleman Hawkins.
Tyler Perry. Andre Kostic was probably a 5-star transfer as much as he's not playing. Like,
and Haggerty. And like, I just don't know what we're supposed to look at and say, it'll get better.
I know.
Because it's not been the roster going in. It's not like a resources issue. It's none of that stuff. It's just not working. And I do hate it because I love Tang's energy. I love his genuine optimism. I love that he is, a well-grounded individual with priorities in the right place. But at Kansas State, you can't finish last in the Big 12. You just can't. Not without some like unbelievable circumstance. Like Haggerty gets hurt, maybe. Okay. Even then it's a stretch, but they're just like, they're not doing anything well. It felt to me like they had no chance in that game. And that game was a 2-point game at half, 2-point game at half. And that felt like everything they had, they threw at them to make it a 2-point game at half at home.
I said it earlier in the, like, I keep talking about they had a recipe that was there. Like, the unfortunate part is that recipe required PJ Haggard to score 40 points.
and even then, are they going to stop Kansas? They can't stop anybody.
I'm telling, like, if they wanted to win that game, they're going to have to find a way to score 90 points. And KU's just good at defense, and that's not going to happen. But
when KU's good at defense, KU had their little stretch, but
it's true.
It's a tough time. I feel you, Cat fans. I feel you, Cat fans. Not so much for the haters, because the haters are always going to be haters and whatever. I feel you, Cat fans, who are in the boat where I think more people are. Man, Jerome Tang feels perfect if it's working. Like, he feels like the perfect fit, like all of it, and it's just not. And I don't know that he's going to be able to survive this. I really don't. I don't know how. Like, what are you hanging your hat on there? If you do, it's as bad a 3-year stretch as probably they've had in a lifetime. I mean, Bruce Weber had one pretty bad and got fired.
It's so wild that like Jerome Tang won a Naismith Coach of the Year. Like, they were so good that year
and deserved to.
Yes. and deserved a contract extension. Whenever Arkansas,
because
came
everybody
calling,
was knocking on the door, you had to lock him up. Like,
and that even came after a year they didn't make the tournament. They were the first team out or whatever, and they went to the NIT and lost to Iowa in that first round. And still, I mean, at that point, K-State fans are just like, yeah, but I mean, he was able to go get Tyler Perry out of the portal. We put some stuff together. Like, some things just didn't fall our way. Like, we just went to the Elite Eight. Like, we're gonna be fine. And then it got worse. And then it got worse again.
Doug and Coleman Hawkins, right? Two elite portal guys.
Doug in Wichita this past weekend.
I know.
4 points.
For Memphis. I forgot about that until they were.
He was their leading scorer.
Oh yeah, they're Doug McDaniel.
He was their leading scorer. Wichita State held him to 4 points.
Wichita State game was such a big win for them. I'm so fired up. I know
if Paul Mills won't say it, we're gonna say it. That was a joke.
He can say whatever he wants. I believe that he doesn't think it's a bigger win than any of the others.
I think so too.
We're close enough to the program. I know how big that win was.
Exactly. We were talking about it in the post-game press conference afterwards. That like we asked all of them, players and coaches, and it's just like, man, we got to ask the question, but we know what the hell they're going to say. We just like to treat this games like it's just every.
I would like them to feel that way.
Yeah.
I would like the players and coaches to expect to win that game every time they take the floor so that it's not a big deal. Memphis is a 500 team. You should beat Memphis at home. That's not the point, though. The point of that game is vibe, energy.
It's the point of that game is that you look at it and they're only 3-point favorites over Memphis, who's not that good, but you've seen the struggles against Rice, and it's like, man, just looking at Penny Hardaway on the bench feels like a game that you might lose just because of what's happened in the past. And to go thump them is a big.
We're still early enough in the conference season where they could develop consistency and give us confidence that they will be consistent. That could absolutely happen. But how many times, and I still believe it, like individual outcomes for this team this season aren't that big a deal because it's all going to be about the tournament. And we know that they're capable of beating any team.
But dare I say, they could go win the American Conference in the regular season.
They could. FAU
lost
this weekend.
If they beat Tulsa this weekend, holy cow.
FAU lost this weekend, just for those, kind of paying attention to that kind of a thing. And that is the thing that they've been missing, right? Just be what Memphis has been. That's all we're asking. Big win. Big win for KU. Sorry, K-State fans. I know it was a rough weekend. We're coming right back.